are really going to get into it today, okay? Because bed rotting is the result of poor mental health. No, it is not a TikTok trend. No, some random TikToker didn't just come up with the idea of laying in your bed all day and doing absolutely nothing because you have no will to live, no motivation, and by the way, it isn't self-care. Nobody has any money at the moment. We're literally in a cost of living crisis, thank you very much. Barely anybody has good mental health, and if you do, people all around the world are depressed. So let's not ignore that, please. Let's not just boil this down to a TikTok trend. It is beyond offensive. The clips that we're going to be watching today from mainstream media really make me wonder if these people are just that out of touch with reality, have never really experienced poor mental health issues before, or they're just genuinely so stupid because their head is so far up their ass, all they can do is just...
The TikTok trend deemed as bed rotting has raised some concerns from mental health experts. So bed rotting is when people decide to stay in bed all day.
Decide?
Immobile activities that include sleeping, watching TV, or being on the phone. Now, experts say it's okay to have a lazy day, but people should incorporate other activities too, like hanging out with friends and family. They warn that being inactive for a long time could be a more serious mental health concern, and people should talk to a doctor if it happens often.
Hey, silly butt, do you realize that a cause of not wanting to socialize with people and wanting to completely isolate yourself from everybody, whether that be friends, family, partners, it is a result of really poor mental health. It is a result of something deeper that's going on instead of getting onto TikTok. Oh, I just saw this TikTok trend. Let's go get in bed. Don't you just absolutely love watching your life pass you by, watching other people enjoy their lives and seeing that they have no issues? No issues, not one! Because people don't enjoy that. Generally, I don't know about you, but people don't just decide to spend most of their day in bed. It is so offensive and disgusting how much the real problem here is being swept under the rug and having a TikTok trend sticker plastered on it. Why bed rotting is the newest hot self-care trend for lazy Gen Zers. Yes, because the notion with old people is that Gen Zers, they're so lazy because the 16-year-old McDonald's drive-through worker cannot go ahead and fix the ice cream machine. Like, yeah, what a lazy cunt, Richard. They don't want to work. Richard, you make such a good point. They don't want to work. They're totally not killing themselves day in and day out by constantly being belittled by customers, employees, getting almost less than minimum wage, you know, them lazy shits.
The new trend is blowing up on social media and raising some concerns among sleep experts. So-called bed rotting has people documenting the joys of staying in bed for hours or even longer, calling it self-care.
Thank you.
So let's just start with the explanation, because people might be saying, I'm sorry, bed what? Bed rotting? So just explain what this is.
Bed rotting. So a TikToker came up with the idea of...
No. This is what we're not gonna do. A TikToker did not come up with the fucking idea of wasting your life away by laying in bed all day because you can't get yourself out of it. Like, it can get that bad sometimes that your mind wants to get up, but your body just won't allow you. I don't know why that happens, but it's happened to me countless times, and it's so shameful. It really is.
Just basically being in bed for long periods of time outside of the time when you sleep, and dubbed it bed rotting. Do you want to rot?
Bed rotting, whatever term you want to fucking call it, has been around for ages now. Like, when I was a kid, my parents really didn't like me sleeping in. They didn't want us kids to basically waste our lives away in the bedroom. We got up, went out, did family shit, all that jazz.
It's essentially, non-sleep activities in bed, which a lot of sleep specialists have always warned about in terms of its drawbacks and things of that nature. But
I don't doubt, I really don't doubt that there are drawbacks from being in bed 24/7. Like, it's a struggle to get to sleep because you're not burning enough energy to get tired. You're not using really any mental energy. So yeah, you're probably going to struggle to get to sleep. However, we already know this. This is such common knowledge that you can tell this to a 12-year-old and they'll be like, yeah, no, I know. But unless we see actual change within society itself at the moment, we're living with the consequences of what happened in COVID-19, other huge situations, that it's like once inflation starts to calm the fuck down and people don't have to work like 2, 3, 4 jobs just to put food on their table for the kids or be able to have money to go out with friends, live life, I don't know, pay rent and not have to worry about being homeless next week, then yeah, maybe shit would change. Maybe shit would change when we actually address the mental health crisis that is going on globally. I have been on like some sort of waiting list to see a psychologist now for 4 months. It has been so long. The mental health system is so broken. So the only way to deal with this shit at the moment, instead of, is to kind of like mitigate stress by spending no money, by being in bed, by, not going outside because it's so anxiety inducing. And please, if anyone in the comments below wants to say that we're snowflakes for this shit, you know what? I'm really fucking glad that you don't have to put up with mental health issues, but at the same time, have some fucking empathy, man. If the worst somebody is doing is laying in bed all day, that's pretty damn good to me. You are doing well in life compared to a lot of other people.
Spending time watching TV, eating, cooking, socializing with friends. I've heard people cooking in bed, getting everything ready for their banana bread recipe.
So it's like, I'm not moving, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to sit here and rot in my bed and love every second of it.
That's right.
Okay, so the benefits sound like you get to relax, you get to chill, it's enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
But this can backfire. So talk a little bit about the drawbacks here.
I think the biggest drawback is if you struggle to sleep already. You're having difficulty initiating sleep, maintaining sleep. I think being in bed awake for a long period of time, resting, dozing, napping is not necessarily going to set you up for great sleep at night.
No way. Oh, no way. I wouldn't have known without you.
Plus, you're not engaging in social activities, you're not moving your body through time and space, you're not exercising. All those things could have a negative impact on your sleep.
And explain the difference between someone laying in bed, frustrated, trying to sleep because they didn't sleep last night, versus someone laying in bed because, hey, I'm enjoying myself and this is really nice.
Right, and I think that could be really the pro. I spent a long time moving furniture yesterday, lying flat on a bed in the evening felt really good. So I think...
What? So now we are being reinforced once again that the only way you deserve self-care or rest is if you actually are productive during the day. That is so shitty to hear. It really fucking is, because the people who are so ignorant to mental health issues, mental illnesses in general, and they say shit like this just reinforces really negative thinking with people who do have issues. I'm sorry, but you don't have to move furniture, do anything to be able to deserve self-care. You are a human, and self-care is the bare fucking minimum that you deserve.
There are positives in terms of self-care. I think the bigger issue is if you're struggling to fall asleep and being in bed, it might be a good idea to move from that space and take...
I do agree with that. That is something that I do agree with. If you are struggling to get to sleep at night, then it would be best if, you did some jumping jacks. If you went out your backyard and, I don't know, paced around for a little bit. Instead of listening to music while sitting on your bed, maybe you could go on a little walk and listen to music. There are obviously so many ways to mitigate that, but generally, because we live in this age of being on technology so much, there is this unfortunate development that we're seeing with people who are struggling to get to sleep due to this, that it has kind of nothing to do with laying in bed all day. It has everything to do with what's going on up here, as well as the fact that there are people who have genuine issues sleeping, insomnia, people who need melatonin. What I just said is not going to work for everybody, of course. It's probably going to work for a very small percentage of people. But at the same time, people can't just sit there and expect people to do these things. And then once they do them, it's like, why is it not helping you? Because people are different. People are so diverse. None of us are the same. We may have the same insides, but none of us are the same.
And you've said that you just came back from a big sleep conference, I know, and they talked a lot about teen mental health and how this may be linked.
Yeah, I think that was a huge topic.
It may be linked. This is crazy. It may be linked? Do you think?
At the big sleep meeting in Indianapolis, the overwhelming mental health crisis we have, I think that if we're looking towards bed rotting as a mechanism to improve mental health, I think for a lot of young people, it probably doesn't. Being out, socially interact.
But I come back to the same exact point again. How are you supposed to really do anything when the mental health system is so fucked up where you have to be on a waiting list to see somebody for a long time? If you don't have the money, and I don't really have the money just to be throwing hundreds of dollars on psychology sessions, people don't have the money to do that generally, especially with therapy too. There is a crisis that I'm hearing within therapy at the moment where there are shortages of them. Somebody that I've met quite recently works in the mental health field, and she is leaving the field due to it being too much for her. And there are so many cases of that. And it's just like, this is, to me, the best coping mechanism, because I've picked up drinking. I picked up smoking weed. I picked up smoking cigarettes. I picked up drinking energy drinks. I developed binge eating. I did this to use as a coping mechanism. And not only are they all unhealthy and dangerous vices, but I think that laying in bed for, 10 hours straight, may not be the best thing, but it's a lot better than what people do to try and numb themselves and escape from their problems. It's just, I'm done with this. I'm done with this because we already know that it's not the best thing to be laying in bed for such a large period of time. We know this. Tell us something that we don't already know. What are we supposed to do? There are people crying out for help and nobody's listening. So what is there to do? Doom scroll on TikTok? And there is no shame to whoever is dealing with substance abuse issues or people who are using certain things in order to cope, because like I said, many dangerous vices that I took up in order to cope. And I think we're just getting to a point where enough is enough. I hate the fact that our struggles have been boiled down to a TikToker making it a TikTok trend when that is just not it. It is so wild to me that it's been boiled down to that by people in mainstream media. It is disturbing, to say the very least. So with that being said, everybody, I am done here for today because I just cannot take talking about this anymore. It's like, dark. It is very dark. Now, with that being said, Drama Queen, this is my channel. This is my safe space. This is your safe space too. So anyone who wants to be cunts in the comments, you're gone. I don't care. I really don't, because there is so much polarizing hatred on the internet at the moment that we need kind of somewhere to just be and be ourselves. So yeah, if you have anything you want to talk about in the comments section below, feel free to. My video, my rules. Take care of yourselves, my lovelies, and most of all, love your fucking selves.